Hello and welcome to Cavaliers Corner. I'm Logan Smith with head coach Dan Pfeiffer of the Walsh Cavalier football team. And Dan, we definitely had that big game that we were looking for all season.
Yep, it was good to get a win finally, and played well in all three phases. Made plays, offensively and defensively, and in the special teams, and that's what we've been kind of waiting for. Been seeing, some signs of that, and we finally got it to happen in a game on Saturday. So it was good to see.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, and the points alone were the most points we scored since being Division II, and the most we scored since 2011. So therefore, I mean, your offense obviously is showing up, but like you said, the defense definitely had a lot to do with that. And a big play by Leandre Crosby, who ended up being the GMAC Player of the Week with a 71-yard fumble return that set up a touchdown and a pump block. So there's your defense and special teams.
Yeah, and that was huge. That was right before the half. I believe it was 14-13, I think, or 16-14. I think it was close at that time. And we get the fumble return, and we go in and score in two plays. Give us a touchdown lead, and then we turn around, defense gets a 3-and-out, and we block the punt, with basically, I think, like 20 seconds to go in the half, and we scoop and score it and put it in the end zone. If we don't scoop and score that, the offense we're kind of in a 2-minute situation, and who knows if we score or not. And if they hold us, now they're going in at halftime feeling pretty good about themselves, that they dodged a bullet. So it was two huge plays right before the half that I think really helped turn the momentum in our favor. And then we came out in the third quarter, and just built on it. Defense went 3-and-out, and then we go on a 95-yard drive for 20 plays, and basically took up the whole third quarter. And I think that really kind of took the momentum out of their sails. And then, we kind of had the game in hand at that point. But that little stretch there right before the half was huge. And as we always keep telling them, you never know when that play is going to happen to be the turning point in the game. And that finally went in our favor. We made a play. And so we got to build on that now, for this upcoming week.
Yeah. I mean, and going back to that second quarter, I mean, you already had 2 touchdowns to begin with. So, I mean, that's a good quarter in itself. But, you had the 2 extra touchdowns because of the fumble and the pump block. You got 28 points in the quarter. Not many teams can say that they've done that during a season. What's that mindset like in the locker room immediately? I mean, it's going to be good regardless, but, adding those 2 extra touchdowns.
Yeah, it was huge because we go into the locker room momentum for the first time this year. You know what I mean? Hey, we got a lead, and now what are we going to do? So it was a little different for us. And, all I talked to him about is, the second half, it's 0-0. You know what I mean? If they put 28 up in the third quarter, and now they're back in the lead. So it's 0-0, and we got to keep playing hard. And I thought that's what we did well. Was, like I said, we came out and the defense got 3-and-out, and then we went on that long drive and basically shoot up the whole third quarter. And then, like I said, they look at the clock and go, okay, we only got 1 quarter left, and now they're up, 3 scores. What are we going to do? And so that really helped us get on top. If they go down and score the first drive, and we, go with a punt, and they, now it's down to a touchdown game with a lot of football left. So it was huge to come out of the gates, and really kind of put that thing away, early in the third quarter, and not give them a chance to think they're still in it. And so, and then we played well after that then too. We just kept playing and plugging away and ran the ball well, kept their offense off the field, and the defense helped us a ton, not just with that one turnover, but they had 2 3-and-outs that set up us, getting the ball on their side of the 50, which is one of the defensive goals. And when you do that, your chances of scoring offensively are going to go up. And so they did that. So we played good field position as well throughout the day.
You talk about running the ball. We ran the ball for 408 yards. The record's 471. We didn't need the pass, but when we did, it also, Mitchell Walt was 5 for 5, over 170 yards passing. It was running the ball kind of the game plan, or it just happened to work out and we're like, hey, let's keep going with it?
Yeah, no, running the ball is a game plan. I didn't know we would do it in that set. We've been pretty multiple, throughout the year, but we got into that set, and then they never really adjusted most of the game and stayed in the same front. So we're just going to stick with it then. We're not going to, try to outthink ourselves and get cute and do something. It was just keep running the same plays over and over, and that's what we did. And and it worked out well for us. And adjust, and after a while, we kind of knew what we were doing. We just kind of kept getting better with it too, then, because they were staying in the same front and everything. And so we just kept running it over and over, and our guys did a good job with it. So yeah, the plan was definitely to run the football. I just didn't know it was going to happen that way and those kind of plays. And I thought we did a good job as coaches. I just sticking with it too, and not getting too greedy or outthink ourselves and say, well, let's just throw it here to do it. And it's like, no, just keep doing what we're doing, until they stop it, and then we'll go to something else. And we stuck with it, and then the kids did a great job with it too, with the long drives.
How did it help having a diverse core of running backs in that? you're going to take a pounding if you rush the ball for 400 some yards, but you have 3 different running backs with multiple touchdowns.
Yep.
I mean, that has to help.
Yeah, it does. It keeps everybody fresh, and that's been our game plan all year. Is we got 5 or 6 guys that we can rotate through a bunch of different spots and can handle the football.
Yeah.
And so, it gives us the ability to keep running it. With those guys and getting fresh legs. I think the great job was, for the most part, Salas was running the ball quite a bit all game, and then about halfway through the third, we start putting Kobe in there because he's more of a one-back guy, but he knows that stuff.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden we bring fresh legs in, he's getting to the corner, no problem, because everybody else is beat tired, and he's totally fresh, and it was such a difference. Even us as coaches look like he's just got a different gear. And so, well, they've been playing 2.5 quarters, and he hasn't done much, And so that made a huge difference, too. Now they had to respect the outside run game even more because we got a fresh guy who can get to the edge real quick, and so that definitely helped, too. And, we're going to keep doing that. We've been doing it all year, playing a bunch of different guys and keep coming up with different ways to keep running the football and then throw it when we have to and keep the chains moving. So, but it was an overall team effort. Defense played really well and helped the offense. Offense helped the defense by chewing up some clock, and keeping the defense off and making sure they were fresh. And special teams, we made a play and we were sound in the punt game and kickoff, and that's we got to continue to build on that this week.
Speaking of this week, got Alderson Broadus at home. It's homecoming. Get to play under the lights. What are we expecting?
Yeah, they're a good football team. I think they're a little bit like us. Some weeks they look really, really good, and then some other weeks they don't look as good as us. So I think they're kind of up and down like us too. And if they bring their A game here, they definitely got the potential to beat and could beat anybody in this league. They got 3 wideouts that might be the 3 best guys in the league possibly. They're little guys, but they are quick and fast, and they can make you miss. Just watching some film from last week Malone game. Malone's playing with them tough. It's a tight ball game, and then next thing you know, they throw a hitch for 80 touchdown. Throw a bubble screen for 60, boom, touchdown. Throw a curl. Next thing you know, they're down 28-7. In 3 plays. And so we got to play good defense. For 4 quarters, keep them in front of us and tackle, and then offensively, what we got to do, what we've been doing is run the football. Keep the chains moving, and then throw it when we want to, and then play. In special teams has kind of got to be the deciding factor. We got to make some plays again on special teams and help each other out in all 3 phases and play together as a team, and not just one unit or the other shows up and the other one doesn't. Then our chances aren't good to win that game. And so if we do what we did last week and build on that, then I think it could be a good game, and we'll see what happens when we get to the 4th quarter. And they got the ability to do the same thing. They're probably telling their kids the same thing. We show up and play for 4 quarters, all 3 phases, we can beat anybody, and if we don't, we could lose to anybody. So I think in that regard, it could be a pretty good game, because I think we are very similar as far as where we're at as a program. They're very young, too, like us. They had a bunch of seniors last year graduated, so they got a bunch of guys that are young and kind of filling themselves out week to week, too, just like we are. And so it should be an exciting game.
And, going back to the receivers, they had a player of the week in their own right, and their quarterback was his first start all year. I believe he threw for 4 touchdowns. How difficult is it, or what's it like going into a game where this is the first start this guy's had, and you don't really have that much film on him?
Yeah, he's played quite a bit in some other games though, so we've seen some film on him and they got 2 quarterbacks. They're to me are kind of similar. They both can throw it very well. One might be a little more mobile, but they both can throw it. And they're balanced offensively. That makes it even harder. Is they're not just a throw it every down team. They're going to be 50-50. You look at the stats and the attempts; they're pretty balanced. So you just can't play pass, and we can't just go load up the box and play the run because they'll throw it over your head, or they'll throw a bubble screen out there and they'll take it. So. We got to be ready for both quarterbacks. They're not changing the offense. When either one's in, they still run the same plays and that. And so, we just got to be ready defensively to, tackle in space because they're going to run a lot of, outside zone type concepts, and try to get their guys on the edge, and get their wideouts out in space. And so we got to run to the football, gang tackle, and can't have a ton of missed tackles. And I always, like I told our team on Monday, if they throw a 5-yard hitch, it's got to be a 5-yard hitch. You can't let them take a hitch and make it a 25-yard gain. If they throw a 10-yard curl, it's a 10-yard curl. And that's really what gets you beat is, those kind of plays. I've been on offense for, my whole career, and I've never went down the field and threw hitches every single play. Because nobody has the patience to do it. We just got to tackle the hitch, and then we'll be okay. But when you throw the hitch and, a guy misses a tackle and he gets in there 25 yards, that's how you lose games because you're giving up big plays now. And so that's what we got to do, defensively is tackle. We got to get to the ball and tackle, gang tackle, get them to the ground, and then do it again, for 4 quarters. And then offensively, we can help that by hanging on to the football, getting first downs, moving the clock, moving the chains, and playing good team football in all 3 phases.
Well, it definitely should be a fun one this Saturday. It's homecoming, and like I said, it's under the lights. First game under the lights at Tom Benson Stadium. Does that kind of add a little bit of the excitement factor?
I think for the older guys, it probably does. Because in college, you don't play many night games. For the younger guys, some of the freshmen, they played night games all last year. They were in high school. True. It's been a while for me. It's been a couple years since I've had to play night games, so I was kind of excited, to get under the lights. Then you get a nice stadium like that too, and so it should be a pretty good atmosphere. So with homecoming and that, so I think it does bring a little something, to you playing under the lights. I think everybody always kind of has flashbacks to your high school career. Anytime you play a night game in college and think of all the good games you had in high school, and that's what I think of as under the lights is going back to your high school days and that, and so. Yeah, I think it'll be a little bit more excitement just playing at night. There, and it's the first time we've done it too, playing at night and just see what that brings. And with a big crowd too, should be some pretty good energy as well.
Well, definitely looking forward to it, and hopefully we get that win. We move to 2-1 in the GMAC as well.
Yep, that's the plan.
Be sure to tune in. The game will be aired on Stretch Internet on the Walsh website. And hopefully we'll come out with that big W and move to 2-1 in the conference. For Dan Pfeiffer, I'm Logan Smith. Go Cavaliers.